It's Jamie with Blanchard and Calhoun. Today we've got another episode of Blanchard Biz, but today we are featuring Georgialina Outdoor Dream Foundation. So today I've got Tony and Eve. Thank you for being here with us.
Thank you, Jamie.
Yeah, good. All right, so let's start off. Tell me what this is. Tell me about the foundation.
So for Georgialina Outdoor Dream Foundation, we set it up based on some personal impact that we had as a family several years ago. That was Eve's story, but it was family oriented, and it is designed to take children that have a chronic or terminal illness and get them out in the field, get them out hunting, fishing, camping, get them back to being a kid for a day or however long their adventure is, from getting out of the hospital or clinic and getting poked, prodded, and who knows what else. Give them a little break.
Okay, so I know you said that that's like a personal thing that happened. You know, what spurred the creation of this?
So myself, I was one of the reasons why, because I had pediatric cancer in high school, and so the Outdoor Dream Foundation, our parent organization, Anderson, they took me out on an elk hunt to Oregon where my whole family got to come and experience that for the whole week. And then they also did a turkey and a deer hunt for me as well here in Anderson and Trenton, South Carolina. But another person from our area, his name was Tanner Haywood, and he had earring sarcoma in high school. And he was also impacted by the Outdoor Dream Foundation, where they took him on a hog hunt and a gator hunt down in Florida. And so he sadly passed in 2020. So at the time, him and I were the only two kids from the CSRA that had been impacted by our parent organization. And so my family decided to create Georgialina Outdoor Dream Foundation to honor my and Tanner's legacy in terms of impacting more local CSRA kids from what we experienced.
Okay, so you mentioned obviously you went and did like the elk hunt. I mean, do you just like hunting? Are you a hunting girl?
Yes, I would say yes, I do really.
Okay.
I enjoy hunting and fishing and all the outdoor country things.
Okay, because I was sitting here going like, that's a really random,
Go
thing.
big or go home.
That's right.
That was the mindset at the time.
Did you shoot an elk?
Mm-hmm. At 747 yards.
Yep. Yep. Not an outdoor.
Yeah.
No. I mean, I like fishing, but yeah. Okay. So why do you feel like having this outdoor experience is so important in a part of this mission?
For me, I saw what it did for Eve, getting her out. It was just not just the elk adventure, but the local as well. And then she was around other children that were impacted about her age, so she was able to get to talk to them, share stories. I've never had cancer, so I don't really know and can't relate to that where she and other kids did. Then you have other children have chronic illnesses. It's just a way for the parents too to catch a break.
Sure.
Get them off their minds of constantly dealing with the issues with the kids, and then be around other families that are being impacted. And then for us, now that everything is good, Eve's been in remission, it'll be 10 years coming up in April. Now we can pay it forward and help those families out like we just did recently with two local children, a boy from Aiken and then a boy from Thompson. And just to see the expressions on them and how happy they were just to get them out and be around other people that understand what they're going through, and just get a relief that they get some time away and don't have to think about that. For me, it's just paying it forward and having a good time with those families that are being impacted.
For sure. And I would assume, like, from your perspective or from, the kids that you guys get to help, they just get to be kids and they get to forget about what they're going through for, this is what, half a day, a full day kind of adventure sometimes?
I think it's a couple of days. So we normally do a shopping day where we outfit the child head to toe in gear. So that's a hat, jacket, pants, and then we also gift them their own equipment for them to keep and grow up with. So that's their own that they can call, not saying their sibling can have it or their mom or dad.
Right.
It's their own. And then we go on what they actually want to do, whether it's a hunt or fishing or camping, and our 2 in the fall, just they both decided to do a white-tailed deer hunt. And so we did that a couple days, depending on if we saw some that night or if we had to get up the next morning. And just the impact, especially with Camden, our first inaugural kid, he being his only child, him being around all of our game wardens and all of our other volunteers, and his mom and them, he was just lighting. His eyes were just lit up the whole time. And his mom was like, it was just so nice of how all the men, I would say, pretty much wrapped their arms around him like he was their own. And then same with Case in our second one in December. The mom was like, he has 2 sisters, but she's like, it's been so nice to just have just that man factor and knowing that like they support you and they're here for you. And she said it felt normal finally after all the pokes and prodding and all the travel that they've been doing, to just have a normal evening with normal folks that just enjoy the outdoors and everything else.
I mean, I can only imagine that this experience, you guys obviously you've experienced it firsthand, but then secondly, you get to be a part of doing this for somebody else, right? I would imagine at some point that's also extremely emotional. Like, how could it not be emotional? Can you tell me a little bit about that?
When Camden, the first job, when we were going to find the deer that he harvested, I was crying some, and he goes, Missy, why are you crying? I was like, it's just happy tears. Well, quit crying. So it was I guess the joy of especially our hard work that myself and my dad and the whole volunteer on our committees have done, and just seeing that smile and his call come together finally. That's the emotional factor of the working late at night, because it's 100% volunteer organization. None of me, Tony, or any of our board of directors or committee members get paid. This is 100% volunteer and passion driven, and just seeing that smile come from the child especially, and then also the parents seeing their child happy and joyful from all the darkness they've had. It's just another way, I think, especially with my purpose, I think that God's helped me do in terms of impacting other people's lives.
Absolutely.
And I feel it from the parent perspective.
Sure.
How I felt seeing her happy and seeing the joy because of the times that it was really, really rough during those 4 years of treatment. It's a little bit selfish to just see them so happy and to watch them laugh and carry on. And because the groups that we've had making them like outfitters for the day or whatever they're doing, the child is the focus. And then we even tell the parents, we're not trying to be rude. It's not about you. It is about that child. And I think they even respect that more,
Sure.
that we make that child the center and focus of it. And just to see them laugh and carry on, and then you see the parents laugh and carry on as well. It's almost like they become kids again, and just seeing it. So it is, I'll just crack up sometimes when I think about what they do and what they say and how they enjoy it. It's awesome.
I bet.
Especially when they made Camden at Bass Pro and Southeastern Armory, they said, well, you're the manager, for the day. And he was like, told one of the boys, I need you to go clean the bathrooms for me. They need to make sure they're good for all the customers coming in. And same with Kaysen at Culpeper Outdoors. He said, you need to go check this person out. I'm standing here raking the bows. You need to go do something. Quit standing around. And so it is just like, and all the employees worked so well, like along with it and everything. And so it just made the whole day. That's why we can do that as well as the hunts, because just impacting of the businesses in the local area, that's helped us with everything.
For sure. So tell me a little bit about, obviously you've talked about the experience, right? Sounds like it takes a lot of different people to make these events happen. Talk a little bit to us about like the game wardens, just the various people who are involved and what they do. Because we'd love to hear, kind of what goes into this.
Yeah. So for me, it's, you got obviously the advisory board, right? They kind of put everything together. Then you have the committees. Then you have the landholders. You have the local businesses that have been tremendously supportive. You've got the donors, right? We can't forget about the donors, right? We can't do all this for nothing. All of that just comes together in this past year, with the charity name now being out 3 years for us, the parent up in Anderson, South Carolina, has been around going almost 25 years. It's just starting to snowball because everybody understands the benefit to the child and the family, and it's all that work that comes together. It is just, right now, it has been quite humbling at the speed that this thing is growing. And my position as the president of the board, I'm looking for manpower because things are accelerating. We're getting donations. Now we want to redeploy those assets back into the field for the children. So we're looking for manpower to help out. And then Eve's running the events and screening the children and working with the subcommittees to then get that personal touch for the kids. So it is literally a community input for sure.
Okay.
Very much.
What events do you guys do annually?
So we have our annual Clays for Kid Clay Shoot. It's the first Sunday of May every year at Palmetto Shooting Complex. And very excited. I hopefully with their treatment schedules, Camden and Kaysen will also be coming to the event as well. So we're praying that everything continues to go well with their treatments. That way they can come out and everyone can actually see that all the money that you do give to us stays local. Like, it does not leave the CSRA. It always stays local. And so all the funds we raise stay with us. So our Clays for Kids Clay Shoot. And then this year we're introducing our Hooked on Hope Bass Classic, which will be our bass fishing tournament up at Wildwood Park in Appling, Georgia. So that's on September 12th this year. It's a Saturday. So we're very excited. It's the weekend after Labor Day, and we're partnering with Clarks Hill Classic on our first annual bass fishing tournament.
Awesome. Okay, so 2 major events that happen, plus then the experience you provide for the kid.
Yep.
How many kids do you try to help a year?
For us so far, this is our inaugural year with the children.
Okay.
So it's based on resources. I hate to say it, but it's about the dollars, right?
Yep.
And what we put back, because we have a lot of services that are being donated. But we also then, some of them are small business owners. So they're donating items at cost because we can't keep going back to the business owners and not provide an income for them as well. But they've been very, very benefactor of giving us what they can from their time. So 2 children this year. Our goal is based on the needs and requirements that are local, and then what the Treasury can provide from a dollar perspective. That's going to dictate in the first couple of years of how many children that we can handle. Our local cost for these run about $2,500 to $4,500 each. So it's not cheap, even though our time is donated and there's no pay to us. It's just all the other logistics that go into it.
Right.
So as we build that up, the goal is to then continue to add those children into our services that we can help them out with.
And you mentioned, local businesses, the organizations that are helping you guys, the people, the volunteers, whether that's, with the committees, with the board, but also the ones who are involved, day of events and so forth. So are you, when someone's interested in wanting to help, whether that's through donations or they want to volunteer their time, are you looking for any specific skills or resources from the community that would help you guys further your mission?
From my side, and Eve's running that as well and been the point person, but it's more of what is their skill set, because we have a need and we'll find a spot to plug them in. I mean, that's the simplest factor. But Eve's kind of running the subcommittees or the committees of the sporting events, the bass fishing, marketing and event planning, and then children and child advocacy. So whatever their skill set is, we're not going to put a round peg in a square hole. We're going to find out what their strengths are, and then we definitely have a need, and we'll fill that in with their experience.
Okay.
I'd definitely say one shout out for some of our volunteers that have definitely stepped up would be the Chick-fil-A Mullins Crossing. They've definitely donated a good bit of their employees and times and helping run our events smoothly. But I would say, going off of Tony, is that we'll find a place for you. Like, we'd love the help. We don't
Turn it away.
Right. And so I would just say, as we're growing, like, my personal goal would be to do 5 kids this year. That would just be a personal one for myself. And enough, obviously we'd have to have the treasury for it, but I think as we're getting more involved and the community's knowing more about us, I think it'll be a lot easier for us to impact more kids locally.
Well, and I think if you already have Chick-fil-A involved, right? I mean, we all know that if they are running a drive-through, they're probably running events very efficiently as well, right? And being able to help you guys. And Chick-fil-A, I agree. I feel like they do a lot to help support our community. So I think that's awesome. So going back to the children, how do you find the children who want to have this experience? How are you guys finding it now? And what other means are there that you need help to find more children so that you can get to your 5 kids this year?
So we have an application on our website. If you go under our Georgialina Kids under our page, and they fill out this application that kind of goes over their age, their height, their weight, their diagnosis, what they what they can't do, either physically, in terms of like moving around and same with dietary needs. And then they have to submit a physician's letter proving that it is a chronic or terminal illness. And then the board, we review it, and then we decide on what the child's wishes that were in the application, on if, let's say, if they applied right now, but they wanted to do a deer hunt. Well, deer season is in the fall, so we will just then plan that out according to what the child wants for their wishes. So it kind of varies. And we're finding our kids mainly right now word of mouth, but we are trying to work with the Ronald McDonald House and the Children's Hospital, as well as reaching out to them and letting them tell their patients about us.
How many applications do you guys get or have gotten on average? I know you're just starting, but
We got Camden and Kaysen. Those are word of mouth that I found. Camden was with the Leukemia Lymphoma Society, and then one of our game wardens actually recommended Kaysen from a local family.
that's awesome. That's great. And that's such a good resource because I feel like people just don't know about it, right? I mean, obviously they're starting to know about it now, and get more involved. But what's your future look like? Like, what do you see happening in 5 years?
In 5 years, I want to have an annual banquet, very similar to what the Ducks Unlimited does, and having all of our sponsors that we've had from the year come to that, have my clay shoot become a 2-day event because we sell out every time. Same with my bass fishing is just growing more in that actual bass fishing world that we haven't even tapped into yet. And I would say having more, goal would be to have, I'd say at least over 5 a year would be the goal. It just, because it depends with the logistics and timelines of what the child actually wishes. And so I hope to grow, and then that we become like a locally known CSRA charity that everyone wants to be involved in or has heard of and supports.
Okay.
I shot go big.
Go
Yeah,
big.
go big.
There's that.
I'm trying to work on the logistics of the footprint, right? So we're looking at basically west of Thompson, almost out to Greensboro, Georgia, and then Columbia, South Carolina. So it's about an hour if you drop a pin around Augusta, and then north and south. All of our support, and Eve does a really great job of putting all those that support the charity out there on social media, on the Georgialina ODF website. So they're out there constantly 365, and then they get updated for the events. We haven't even tapped into South Carolina yet. Literally all of our support as of today has been on the Georgia side of the river. We're making inroads. Hopefully this year we have a couple members that are from South Carolina as we get into that footprint. So this thing should easily double in size within about a year's time, and that includes the events and what we can do with those. So I'm excited about that growth. I mean, what we've done already in this past year is just truly mind-boggling and quite humbling. I can't wait to see what happens for next year.
Absolutely.
Well, it's 2026 year, I should say.
Right. No, I think it's going to be great. I mean, I'm excited to learn more about it and kind of get involved with just kind of what you guys are doing. I think anytime you get to help kids, and yeah, for those of you who don't know, but Tony and I are in Kiwanis together. So it's like our mission to help kids.
Help kids, and that's part of it. And also one of the things with the groups that are helping us, may talk about it again a little bit, but the Georgia and the South Carolina DNR have been off the chain wonderful to deal with.
Awesome.
Their support to us, their guidance, not just here, the CSRA, but we have been able to touch the game wardens that are further out, and they know about what we're doing, and they're actually coming us to offer not only their on time, but their off time.
That's awesome.
And they're busy enough.
Sure.
And a lot of the things that I make a point of, whether it's the spouses, right, whether it's a woman on the group or the man, is to then thank the other side of the family that's there, because they're taking time out of their personal schedules, to come help us. And a lot of them have young children, and we do want this thing to be a family event. So if we're getting together, we want the spouses there. We want the kids of the volunteers there, because I want it to really, really feel like a family event, and they're all welcome to come, because most of the time, we're dealing, these children, they have parents that they're dealing with. So we want it all to be interactive and family friendly together.
For sure.
And that makes for some great conversation and together.
Absolutely.
And fellowshipping.
Yeah. Okay. So in closing, what's the one message you want the public to know about the organization and how the community can help?
My side is be mindful of who and what we're trying to do and help these kids. It is to see them outside and in that fresh air environment, whatever they're doing, to see the impact that is immediate on that child is just an amazing thing. And then seeing the parents and the joys on their faces is really good. Continue to grow the organization with manpower and dollars, so then we can continue to give back. That's my goal. I have other visions. Eve's talking about the fundraising. It'd be neat. One of the parents, they have a large tri-tune to get the kids that are in wheelchairs, to get them out on the lake, because you can't put them in a bass boat. So they actually had a tri-tune built that it would ramp off the boat ramp onto the boat, get them situated, and then take them out, right?
Cool.
So cool idea.
Right.
Track wheelchairs, come to find out that the DNRs have access to the track wheelchairs if you want to really get the kid out in the woods and not just be in the car or on the side of the road. Literally get a track wheelchair and get them out.
How cool.
Going deep, going big, right?
Right.
That's what I envision, because to me, again, it's all about the child and giving them what they want. That's what I envision, because that's what I saw from other needs in other organizations.
Mine would be is that we say your money that you donate to us, we do what we say we do. And we do impact the local CSRA kids. We don't have like someone from Oregon coming out. We're trying to keep it our kids local and impact our local kids, because I think our area needs that, especially with the Children's Hospital, of how many kids go in there day in, day out. And if we can impact just a portion of those kids that are getting treated and just have them feel normal, and even just feel that. I know, especially with myself, when I was in the hospital for 30 days and I couldn't go outside, but when I finally went outside and felt that sunshine on my face, it made a huge difference. And I know it's making a huge difference in these kids that we're actually impacting locally.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us today and telling us more about the organization and how our community can help. We'll definitely check back in, maybe do kind of an update, especially when you launch some of your events this year.
Yes.
Sound good?
That.
Okay.
Please have them hit the website. Our information is out there, georgialinaodf.org. See what we're doing on the website. See the impact of the children, the sponsors. Feel free, our number's on there if they want to call and talk to us, email, any way and every way you want to get a hold of us, and then other forms of social media. Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Perfect. Well, you heard it here from Tony and Eve. We're going to wrap the session up. But if you guys have other organizations that you feel impact our community and they need a little love, definitely let us know, and so that we can try and highlight them as well.